Oh, I have to show you my little thing. Constantina, look.
Hi, how are you?
I held that up in class when they're in mute.
Wait, tell us about that. Wait, what do you do with that? How does that work?
Well, I had one for mute and one for unmute, but it took me too much time to think about which was which. So if I can't hear someone, I just hold this up, and they get it now. This is actually this is a fan I bought in Italy because it was so hot, and I just stapled this to it. Very low tech.
That's lovely. That's fantastic. Should make a video that shows how you use it.
It's pretty cool. Low tech, yes.
It's the first time I use my phone for Zoom, so I was trying to figure out how to mute and unmute. So now I know.
This is my first time too.
Right. So I'm gonna share my screen here, and for like a little warm up for us. I know things are gonna move a little more slowly than they normally do, I think, or it's my guess, because it takes longer to maneuver. But I thought we might start by teaching each other how to say "my name is" in another language. Can we try that in the chat? So we can keep sharing through the chat if there's more to share. Ooh, tell us, Christina, what language is this?
Sorry, I'm muted. Okay, it's Swedish. Jag är Christina.
Jag är Christina?
Yeah, I don't have my Swedish alphabet on here, so it needs the 2 dots above the R.
So thank you for coming today. And thank you for your patience that you've shown already by playing with your phone and connecting with your phone. So my goals today are for us to keep playing around with this and see what's possible. Mostly, in terms of a Zoom class, what can be done with a phone. I mean, this is partially to put you in the shoes of a student and see what it's like. But also see if we can figure out what's possible that that maybe you haven't been able to do with students yet. And we want to practice a little bit on sharing screens. Hopefully, I think we'll get there, and share any tips and tricks that you have already for working with what students have, because so many of our students just have phones or sometimes tablets. I thought we would start with a little bit of, I guess, a prediction guide, or just from what you know already about what's possible. So what I thought we would do is go ahead and annotate on this screen. So just for a moment, I'll just show you that I'm going to show you some screenshots here that I'll put an orange border around so that I can separate it from what you're seeing on your screen. I'm sure it's going to be confusing when you see something pop up that I've screenshotted, but you also have your own tools in controls on your phone. So what's outlined here is a screenshot. So what you're looking for is this little pencil annotation function. I don't know if it's the same on each device or each phone, but I think it's going to look similar. So that's what you're looking for. You can usually press your screen once to see it, and then click on the pencil. So to go back to here, just to start, I think we would say that, let's see here, I'm going to try doing this with my phone as well. Whoops, I already made a mistake. Let me erase this. Okay. I'm not going to try and zoom. So chatting with an iPhone is possible. Chatting with an Android is possible. Chatting with a tablet is possible. Not real elegant there, but so I'm going to leave the rest of the table for you. Based on what you know, can you fill out some of the table about what is possible? It's an opportunity for us to play with the annotation as well.
How do we access the annotation?
Who asked? I'm sorry.
Oh,
who's-
it's Donna. I don't see that little bar where it, and here it is. I had to tap to get the little pen. Okay,
You have to tap to get the pen. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
okay. That's something to tell my students, actually. Tap to get the pen. Eric,
Yeah.
all I'm seeing is your chart where we put checks. Should I be seeing your face also?
It's a good question. If you swipe your screen, my guess is you can see other people. So this is something I think like you might want to play around with. When I share, my guess is you're not going to really see anybody anymore.
Okay, because when you share, I can't swipe and I don't see anybody.
Um,
Uh,
Okay.
Donna, what, the
Donna,
chart, on the chart, on the bottom, on my right-hand side, I can see you. And right now, well, it's not Donna, it's someone else, but I don't know her name, that is showing up on the bottom.
I don't see anybody, just
Now
the
I see
chart.
you. Oh,
So so if you are currently annotating, all the video from
Ah.
this disappear.
I see. Now
When
I
you-
see you, Eric, because I was annotating. I get it now.
When you turn
Okay.
off the annotation, then you'll be back and you'll see some people. And you can also
Yeah.
swipe to see everybody once you turn
Okay.
off the annotation. And you can see
Okay.
everybody in the
I got it.
Right, so Chris, you're seeing whoever's speaking when you look at the chart, but I think maybe it's because you're not annotating currently.
I am annotating. I'm gonna,
Oh.
yeah, I'm gonna go click. That's my, whoops, no, wait, pencil. The little blue check is mine. So whoever is, actually, no, I can see you, but I'm not seeing other people until I go back to the faces, and then I can swipe and see people's face.
Right.
But it seemed like well, that's interesting. So then I clicked on the screen, and now the annotation screen is still visible. So I can kind of toggle back and forth. I can tap on the annotation screen. There it is, but I see a little window with your face. But when someone else was speaking, when Donna was speaking, then it switched over to Donna's face.
Yeah.
So it seems like the speaker is who you see on your phone when you're annotating.
Okay. Now I need to mute.
And you
For
can kind
me, on
of,
the-
for me, you can toggle back and forth. Now I see Pamela.
Continue. Okay.
For my Android, when I can see a little box down in the whiteboard, but then when I try to actually annotate, then the little picture goes away and I can't
Please
see them.
join audio. Call using internet audio.
So
Now I can see everybody's name. Before I couldn't see the name of the people on the bottom, but now I can see them.
And how did
I
you see? How do you see everybody's name?
Before I could only see the two people in the top row, who's me and you. And then I saw two pictures, but I didn't see their name. But for some reason, I don't know. I mean, I changed the orientation. That's what it is. When the phone is horizontal, I don't see the names of the bottom two of the four squares, but when I make it vertical, I see the names on the bottom two thumbnails.
Right.
Horizontal and
switching your
vertical
phone-
are
Go ahead,
good
Teresa.
vocabulary words. Those are two of the vocabulary words I included in that slideshow, horizontal and vertical.
Right,
it's
so
good to
switching
know
your
with the
phone
phone.
from horizontal to vertical will change.
Mhm.
Right.
Wow.
So let's take a look at the chart here for a second. Let's see here. In terms of annotation, it looks like we all agree that an iPhone, an Android, or tablet can all be used for annotation. For sharing screen, an Android or a tablet, we could use an Android or tablet. But we can't use an iPhone to share a screen. Is that true?
No, we can.
We can use, yep, thank you, Donna. Sharing a whiteboard. Can an iPhone or an Android share a whiteboard? So somebody has a check, it looks like no for Android, no for tablet, Yes for an iPhone?
I've never done it.
I'm-
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I'm gonna put question mark
Yes, you can
for which one, Vanessa?
for all three.
You can share a whiteboard from an iPhone or from an Android or from a tablet?
Oh, a whiteboard.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi.
I'm gonna put a
I
question
thought you
mark.
could. I think you can. So I would say yes.
And who put the check here for an iPhone that yes, you can do it from a whiteboard? You can share a whiteboard from a iPhone.
I did. It was just a guess.
Oh, it's a guess, okay. Let's put it as a question mark for now and along with that check. Okay, so how about using Google Docs? Looks like you can do it from any one of them. There is an app for Google Docs that for iPhones, Androids, tablets. Writing on a PDF, sounds like we can definitely do it with an iPhone. Does somebody have experience with that?
I was trying to do one of the exercises that you had sent through Google Classroom. This is Christina speaking. Sorry,
Got it.
multitasking. So yeah, I was able to do that, but I have not tried that with my students yet. So
And how about an Android? Can you write on a PDF with an Android?
I don't know. I have an iPhone,
Mhm.
and I don't know.
Okay. So we'll
Sorry.
keep that as
Yes. Yes, you can.
for both of those, and or you said an Android, and how about a
I
tablet?
have an Android.
And it works, right? You
Yeah.
are able to do it. And how about from a tablet?
Yes.
And using another app while also staying connected to Zoom. Definitely true for an iPhone, true for an Android. And we don't know about a tablet. Anyone know if it's true for a tablet? Can you have more than one app running at the same time? Like Zoom in the background?
And on an iPad, you can.
Right.
I don't know if that's a universal tablet information or not.
So it seems like almost all of this can be done on any one of these devices. This is a bit of a question here. There's a specific, I'll just go ahead and say it now in case we don't get back to it. My experience is that yes, you can do this from a tablet. Like if you have a tablet, you can share a whiteboard that other people can annotate, but you can't do it from an iPhone. Like you can't use an iPhone and share a whiteboard that other people can annotate. If you have, if somebody else shares a whiteboard, you can annotate it with an iPhone. But you can't be the one that initiates that. If all you have is an iPhone. And I'm not sure about an Android.
Yeah, when I tried
say
to,
whiteboard, I mean a Zoom whiteboard. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
sorry for interrupting. When I just tried while you were talking about that, I clicked on share screen, and the message I'm getting on my iPhone is you cannot start screen share while the other participant is sharing.
You were going to share a whiteboard from an iPhone?
No, I just clicked on share to see what would pop up.
Yeah. You can definitely share your screen from an iPhone. This is definitely true.
Just not a whiteboard. Okay.
But that's definitely true, but not a whiteboard specifically. Yeah, and we'll do that in a minute here. So I'm going to save this so we can look at it later if need to. I'm going to clear this. Let's see, I'm going to clear all the drawings. Okay. So I want to go talk a little bit about some of the basic screens here in case you're not clear already about what all these things are. It seems like a lot of you are already. This is the main screen. I did this a little bit earlier today. It's just showing the PowerPoint I have up because I was sharing a PowerPoint from my computer and then I was connected from a phone. Is there anything here to point out for students at this basic screen here? Anything that students should know about this screen?
Excuse me, Eric, you're sharing this PowerPoint from your computer, but you're joining the meeting on a phone? Is that what you said?
Well, I did this earlier. I took a screenshot earlier. So what you're looking at is a screenshot from my phone.
Oh, okay, okay, I see it. Okay,
It's sort of like imagining that it was
Oh.
connected right now. I mean, in truth, it does look very similar to this on my phone right now, but this is a screenshot from earlier. So
are you on a phone or a computer right now?
I'm on, this is from a computer.
Oh, you're on a
connected
co-
to
you're-
two
you're on a
different, you're looking at me, that's a computer, and I'm sharing from my computer. But I also
Okay.
I'm also connected from a phone, so I can see what it looks
Right.
like.
But this screen share is from your computer, not from your phone.
Yeah, but it's a screenshot from my phone.
Got it.
Here's the next, so, oh, actually, one thing to point out, did you know that you can move that thumbnail video?
Yeah, I
do you-
just figured that out right now, which is interesting. I didn't know that was,
You might
Awesome.
try
Oh,
that.
yeah.
'Cause there'll be times when the video is in front of a piece of text that you want to
Mhm.
read.
mhm.
So if you just point it, hold it, move, you can move the video around the speaker. Did everyone figure out how to do that?
Yeah.
So then this screen, this pops up when you just press the screen once, right? Which of these options do you feel like are important for us to understand or to help students understand? What parts of this screen? And I know this is weird because you're going to see it. You know, again, the orange outline is around a screenshot of my phone, but you also have your own stuff around that potentially.
I'm
But
sorry,
which
what's
of
the question?
Which of these pieces do students need to understand? Like
Oh, all of them.
all of them? Well, what do we know about it? Tell me what you know.
If you want to get to chat, you have to press the more, the 3 dots and more. That's what I taught the students to do this week. So they can ask me a question, and I had them write my name is and their name in chat. And everyone, regardless of their device, was able to do it.
Right, so the chat is under more here. Cool. What
Mhm.
else?
Mute
how
is.
oh, sorry.
Mute button, yeah.
Mute
Right,
button is.
So mute and unmute.
Stop
You-
video, start video.
Do you teach students how to use this?
Yes, because well, my students, a lot of them don't even have internet access, so they're picking it up from, the air, and they often fall out of the meeting. Their access becomes unstable, and so you can see them walking around their apartment, trying to find a more reliable internet.
Yeah, right.
And so I've told them, we should try to keep the video on, but if you're walking around your apartment and you want to keep that private, please stop video.
Thank you, Chris. Can we try it just for a second? Can we try everyone turning off their video?
Stop video.
Okay. I think we try turning it back on, just make sure that we all see how to do that.
That might be the one function that my students all seem to know how to use coming into this.
Okay. So
I
that's
don't know why.
Okay. What else here on this screen do students need to, or would we like students to understand?
Maybe renaming, because sometimes I see my students' phone numbers or their names in Arabic, and the other students don't know who is talking. Sometimes, I cannot see their faces, so it's important to be able to type their names.
Constantina, I made a couple of slides because I did a lesson on that in the very first or second day. I'm happy to send them to you. It might help you with visualization.
Thank you. I was planning to do that tomorrow.
Well, be patient. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, I'm still having trouble with that as well. I made a slideshow, I showed it, and it's, I always have this person who logs in his iPhone.
I have one I've given up on and I just changed her name. There's just no point.
Well, that's what I do too. It's like, okay, I'm getting a little bit unnerved by this mystery guest. So I say, is that you, Victor?
So, so this is the way to get there. I assume you all know through participants,
Mhm.
and then you press the name. This is what you're teaching them to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Press on their name here.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Do you use any of this stuff here under participants? Raise hand, yes, no, go slower. Do you use any of that?
I tried
don't.
raise hand, and the problem is, I'm juggling so many things on my screen that I miss it. So, people will be raising their hand and I didn't see it. So I just have them call out, it's Christina.
I feel the same way. It's just another thing. So I actually have them raise their hand, which has been facilitated my buying this ginormous monitor here, so I can actually see their hands. It's been a big
same
help.
here. Same here. That's what I do.
Yeah, I want a 40-inch monitor, but that's not happening.
Pam, did you say that you do use it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No,
What
you're fine.
do you use the
Some of these raise hand, yes, no, that sort of stuff.
yes. Yeah.
How do you use
but
it?
also when I so rather than them all calling out the answer, I'll have them try and raise their hands. But again, sometimes even on the computer, I'll minimize that screen so I don't get to see everyone's face. So I also miss people who are raising their hands.
Yeah, right.
That's why I bought the big monitor for that exact reason.
Yeah.
I can't even function with this monitor. I can't. And wait, I have a question. So to get the menu on the iPhone, you just press the bottom, you just touch the bottom of the screen, right?
Yeah, you just tap.
Okay.
I just want to share one thing. I was taking a Spanish class on Zoom, well, actually through Blue Jeans, which is the same thing. And one thing my teacher did that I don't do in the classroom is he calls on us to answer questions. And when I'm teaching in the classroom, I let students volunteer to answer. But because that was so successful in my Spanish class on Zoom, I've been calling on them more versus waiting to find hands. And I found that the lessons are much more organized that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get the sense that people are like, oh, she's calling on me. At least so far, it hasn't felt that way. It's been rather comfortable.
Yes, I've been doing the same thing. I never did that in class because it shut some people down.
Yeah.
But on Zoom, we're supposed to have everybody's video on, but sometimes they turn it off, and I don't know if are they still there, or are they off making dinner? And so I've started calling on people just so they know any minute now, you're going to be called on, and you better be there.
Right.
So it doesn't seem to be as big of a freak out for the students as it was in the class.
Yeah, I agree.
Really?
It's interesting.
I think it's also helpful to have your list of students right next to you, and then you can kind of keep track of who's actually been participating, and because it can be kind of another thing to keep track of. But and then calling on people is a way to make sure that everybody is participating every class.
Yeah. I think that's a really nice tip. That's something I've been wanting to practice more myself.
I just
Can
go
we-
in order
ahead.
of the thumbnails. If I had 16, 18, I just keep going in order of the thumbnails. Occasionally someone drops out, so I have to sort of keep a mental track, but I found that worked for me.
Nice tip. Can we talk about this menu here? Does everyone know how to get to this? What I'm looking at now?
Chat meetings, that
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Yes.
How did I get to this? More.
More.
Right?
More. 3 dots more.
Mhm.
So you know how to do chat. We know how these reaction things. Virtual background. I'm wondering how many people have that right now. Do you also see virtual background when you go to more?
I don't. I do not.
I don't see that. Either.
And Donna, what kind of device are you on?
iPhone.
iPhone, Christina, and what are you on?
Same, iPhone,
Interesting. And
old iPhone. It's an old one, so it could be
Yeah,
just
mine,
the age
mine
of
is
it.
an older one. Yeah, me too. You know,
Um,
I find that I bought a new computer and my old computer wouldn't let me use the virtual background. It didn't come up, but my new computer, it does come up. So I think it has to do with the version of the device that you have as to
Yes.
whether it'll do it.
Yeah, my laptop is not that old, but I tried the virtual background and it's really weird. It's like yeah.
it doesn't work very well. It's kind of like what
No.
mine looks like right now, which is a little crazy.
Mine,
on my phone.
mine screws up the internet connection. So I stopped even trying to use it. I'm going to put myself on mute for a moment.
Got it. And I know virtual background was a possible, a suggestion for, in terms of privacy, for students as an option potentially, but it does seem like it doesn't work that well with many phones. So it is available on my phone, but it doesn't seem to work very well. So just so you know, it's there. But let's
Where
talk
is
about,
it?
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
That's under more, right? For the virtual
It is-
background?
It should be under more.
Because I don't have that.
Yeah, so it may be that it may be your phone, it may be the version of your app, it could be, maybe, but my guess is the phone, but I think you can sometimes update your app as well, potentially.
So it's not under meeting settings,
No, it should be separate, I think,
just separate, okay.
yeah. But it's not available on all devices, so it's one of those things that's, yeah. And maybe just for newer phones, it's available. So I'm wondering about sharing a phone, like sharing a screen, and I'm wondering how many people have done that. By a show of hands, has anyone shared a screen from your phone?
No.
Yes.
My phone, no.
And has anyone
No.
taught students how to do it?
Yeah, I
No.
asked
I
my
have.
students. I asked my students to share their screen. I actually asked them to go to like Google Classroom and then share their screen from Google Classroom, which they can't do. And I can't even help them. I
It's
didn't
hard-
even think they
yeah.
had access to it.
So actually, that's actually what I'd like to do right now is just demonstrate quickly what you're saying. So first of all, I just want to show you with some screenshots what I'm doing, because I can't show you precisely what I'm going to do with my phone. But so from a screen, this is just a screenshot from my phone. I'm using this green button at the bottom, shared content. And when I click on share content, this menu comes up. So you might take a second and see what happens when you click share content. What do you see on this menu? For me, I
You
see,
cannot start screen share while other participant is sharing.
Yeah, I got the same thing.
Same
so
here.
that's all you see.
Mhm.
Okay, so let me stop
Yeah.
my share for a minute. So you can see, so try it now. What do you see?
I'm taking a screenshot of this.
Screen, photos, iCloud, website,
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing as well.
bookmark.
So screen, photos, yeah, and it might be website URL, bookmark, maybe there might be some other options. In my
Blackboard.
experience, Blackboard,
Whiteboard.
Whiteboard.
Oh, I don't have Whiteboard on mine.
Interesting.
I
So,
have one. This is a pretty new Android, so
I
ah,
don't have that either.
interesting.
Yeah,
So
me neither.
Leah's on an Android and she's able to share a whiteboard.
that's what
Um,
it says.
I don't have that option on my iPhone. I do have it on my iPad when I share a screen
Oh.
from an iPad.
Let me see if my iPad has it.
Oh, sorry, I just shared it. That's sorry.
No, that's fine. No problem at all.
Oh, no, but I
Um,
don't want to leave meetings. How do I?
So this is Leah's whiteboard, which means we could actually write on that. That's interesting. So some Androids would allow that to happen. It seems to me that the most useful option here is screen. though I suppose URL maybe is another option. So I'd like to show you what it looks like. Well, let me back up a second here. I'm going to share my screen again and just show you what the options look like when you actually share the screen. So in this case, I'm going to choose, I'm imagining that I'm choosing screen. I went to share content. Now I'm clicking screen, and it's saying start screen share broadcast. And what I do now is I click on start broadcast, right? That's what I would do next. Sorry. And the next thing that happens is it says I'm sharing a screen. And so these options here, like, am I sharing the audio? This allows me to turn off the share, just so you can see what some of this looks like. You can share the sound, just like you can share from a computer. You can share the video and the sound, or just the video. My guess is most of the time students would just be sharing the video or the image, right? So they probably want to turn off the sound so that ringers don't go off or other things like that. And then when it's time to stop, you just press stop broadcast, or here stop share. So let me stop for a minute and show you what this would look like from my phone. Turn off my video here and turning on my video from my phone here. Let's see here. Oh, but oh no, I have this stupid virtual background. Okay, and I'm turning around back. Okay, so I'm sharing content. I'm going to choose screen. And so I think at this point, let's see, it may take a second here. I had to hit start broadcast. And so now I believe that you're seeing my screen. To show you what I want, what often happens with students I've noticed, and when they do this, the next thing they do is they click stop broadcast, right? Because right in the middle of the screen there, it looks like, it looks like maybe that's the thing to press, but really what you want to do now is press the home key and go to the rest of the phone, right? So, I mean, this is how I do it on my phone. I hear now that, like I've learned today, that new iPhones don't have a home key, but what I'm doing, if I press the home key twice, is I can move between my different apps. And so this seems like something useful to teach students how to do if they don't know how to do it. And it's probably different on different phones, right? But so, for example, Pam was saying that, she was hoping that students would be able to open up Google Classroom and look at a page together, right? Or, an assignment. So this, this is my iPhone. I shared in that, in the way I just showed you. If I open up Google Classroom here, it goes to a Google Classroom I have set up as a practice for teachers. So let's say, for example, here I have this assignment on my values. This is from the CUNY Career Kits. So I could open this up and there's the PDF. It's a little small, but here it is, right? This is a values activity. So I guess this is, I mean, my question, I guess, is whether this is possible for students actually to do with themselves in a breakout group. We're gonna, hopefully we'll have time. If we do, you're gonna look at a couple of these activities. And I created one with a PDF. This is one with a Google document. This is about this story, these ESL literacy readers. This one called Sato Goes to School. Let me go back to that. Here it is right here. So, so maybe it's a PDF. The students are looking at it together.
Sato is a student.
I don't think, it just played the audio. I don't think you heard it, but I wasn't sharing audio.
We heard
I
it.
heard it. I heard
She
it.
studies English.
Interesting, okay. So I don't know. So this is, I guess this
She
is
comes to class.
the question, whether this is possible. And I'm going to go ahead and unshare. And so one thing I want to point out here is that when I go back to my screen here, so for some students, I think it might be hard to figure out how do I stop, right? But at the top, you see the red bar at the top. If I press on that, it asks me whether I want to stop, because it's just, that red bar is saying that I'm broadcasting my screen. I guess another thing to point out here is there are privacy concerns, because right when I share my screen with that option, it shares whatever's on my phone, right? So if students are going to be sharing what's on their phone, they should be, they should be aware that if there are any photos or anything on here that they don't want to share with the rest of the class, they should be aware that what they're about to do is share everything on their phone. But it seems to me that sharing a screen is the easiest way to give access to students there. So I'm going to stop the share. Another way to do this is to go back to the Zoom meeting and press stop broadcast. So we're back here again. Questions or comments about that? You are going to practice here in a minute.
How do you go back to the Zoom meeting to stop the broadcast?
So it depends what kind of phone you're on, but so for me, if I press my home key twice, so this is actually, I made a little slide on this because it was a question I had about other devices. Like, how do you switch between open apps? Like on an iPhone, I know if I double tap, then I can sort of scroll between my open apps. Does anyone know how to do that on another device, or could you show us maybe?
Also on an iPhone, if you just press your home button once, it'll take you to your home screen, and there's a green bar across the top. That's your Zoom meeting. So if you tap on that green button, it'll take you back to the Zoom meeting.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that, Donna. I didn't know that. Because this is the problem I have with students is, toggling back and forth, and then they, sign out of the meeting. Green, start broadcast.
I guess we could have a race here and see who's the first person who can screen. Anybody?
Right.
Here we go. Yay, there we go.
Are you seeing anything? I'm not seeing anything. I'm seeing a red light.
So we see your screen now, Chris. You can go.
Okay.
You can now go anywhere on your phone. And I think we'll see it.
Oh my God.
Okay, let me try. Oh, I see. Okay, good grief. Okay.
So we're now seeing what you're sharing. Yep.
So you're seeing all my home screen. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. Dare
Wow,
I show photos? What? Oh God, this could be.
Show us the
I
weather.
can't figure this out.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, no. That's here are my photos. There's a cake. There's my cat. Are you seeing this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let me go back to weather. Oh, that's something different. Okay, that's my calendar. Weather.
So basically anything that's on your phone you can share, right? So if you have Google Classroom on your phone, you could log in with your Google account, open the document and share that, right?
Okay, there we go. Are you seeing?
There we go. Perfect.
Oh, well, that could be helpful because I've been trying to, teach level 1 ESL students how to do this. Those with a laptop are kind of figuring it out. Those with a phone, it's a lot more steps. So this could be very helpful. All right, interesting. I'm gonna stop
Great.
this.
So what I'd like to do, with your permission, what I'd like to do is give you some time to practice in smaller groups. So here's my proposal. I'd like to try something with you, if you wouldn't mind being my guinea pigs a little bit. I was proposing 3 breakout groups, but I wanted to let you choose what you want to work on. All right, so I'm going to make the groups real quick.
How do I change my name?
Go to participants at the bottom and tap on your
Okay.
name.
And then just click on my name. Oh, and I
Yeah.
see. Rename. Okay.
I find it interesting that I wanted to teach my students how to share the screen next week, and now I tried to do it today and I couldn't do it. So I think I need to practice some more.
I have a question about the screen, sharing a phone screen, because I could see this could be very helpful in modeling how to use things on a phone. I tried it on my own and I noticed that it starts recording. And I'm very paranoid about students' privacy. So I have not been recording my Zoom classes. When I was sharing my screen, all I saw was what I was sharing. I wasn't seeing anybody's faces. What were you all seeing on your end? Were you just seeing what was on my phone, or were you also seeing my phone and people's faces?
I was lost in the internet, so I didn't say anything.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm not helpful here. I got disconnected from the call, actually. So.
I didn't see anyone's faces, and I'm on a computer. I saw just your phone, Chris.
Okay. All right, that's good to know.
So when you share your screen on a phone, do you see what the students are seeing?
I did when I pressed the the start button. That's how I was able to get out of whatever app I was in. I didn't know that until you told me that. So that's, you can switch back and forth by just pressing the start button or the on button or whatever it's called on the phone.
So
And then you look for the green
go ahead.
stripe to get back into Zoom.
If you put the questions on its own device and put one in each breakout group, but then you'd have to have like 10 iPhones. So that's a bad idea.
If you
So there's
want
no-
Donna to be
Hi,
looking
Eric.
at each other,
I've just had a great lesson.
Donna,
Yeah.
if you want them to be looking at each other, if for you that's a requirement, then you will have to tell them to write down the questions on a piece of paper first, and then go back to the Zoom and so that they can
That's what
answer.
I've been doing. I thought I was under the impression from what I had heard anecdotally that I could put them in the questions in the chat and then they could access those while they were seeing each other's thumbnails and have conversation, but that is not correct. They cannot do that. They disappear from the chat in the breakout room. So that's really good to know. I won't waste any more time trying to make that happen.
Well, one thing you can do, I guess, which is sort of a pain, but you could go from room to room and quickly paste it. Like if you copy the questions, well, this is what I did just now because I realized that the links weren't there. After you open up the breakout groups, you could go and just paste it into the chat, go from room to room and paste the links or the questions or whatever text. You have to do it one at a time,
Once
I
them
guess.
looking at each other, you can't.
Yeah, but the problem is if I want them to look at each other face to face, then that does not work.
So it's better
Then
to
they'd
write it
just
in
be
a notebook.
looking at the text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You figured it out, Pam.
You got it.
That's great. And so
Yeah.
these are Google Slides?
Yeah, I had them do a Google slide presentation on jobs.
Can I make one recommendation is that if you turn your phone sideways,
Yeah.
it's easier to read on this end. So now it fills the screen.
Okay.
You know, do you know how to edit and present from here too?
Is it the same way?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think you could click edit in Google Slides maybe.
Oh, did I do edit in Google Slides? Okay. Google Slides.
You have to download Google Slides. This is in Google Drive or something? Is that what you have?
Yeah,
I think it's gonna
Yeah.
it wants to download Google Slides, which is fine, it's free. It's just, all this stuff is a separate app.
Yeah, Vanessa is sharing her screen with us. We cannot do it, only she can do it, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we
Yes.
were supposed to be doing it.
No,
I
no.
apologize.
In order to be able to do this, we have to go through Google Classroom. So only
Okay.
Vanessa can do it.
The
Okay.
annotate part, I think, Donna, I know what you're saying. It's on Zoom, annotate via Zoom.
Yeah, I thought that we were going to be checking off what our values were in this exercise, but that is not what we're doing.
Well, no, the annotate doesn't stay. The annotate through Zoom does not stay on the document. This right here will stay on the document. This pencil, I hit the pencil. And then I can hit the letter A at the bottom. Do you see the letter A at the bottom?
No.
I can see.
What about now?
I dropped the phone. Let me, yes, now I can see. This is insane. Go ahead. No, I can't. My screen's too small. I can't see anything.
Okay, well, there's a letter A at the bottom after you hit the pencil icon.
How did it go? Is everyone completely frustrated?
I've given up, so I'm not frustrated.
No.
So what did you learn?
I
It's
learned how to
tough.
share the screen, but I can't see myself. I mean, I can't see the participants, but I can share the screen.
Yeah, so Teresa, you figured out how to share your screen, right? But once you share your screen, you're not going to see anybody else while you're doing it. Right. Yeah, so right. So that you have to kind of accept the fact that you're not really going to be seeing people. And if students were to do it, they wouldn't see other people, but you.
But they can, if I'm
what's
going
the-
fast, they can let me know, right?
Say that one more time.
If I'm flipping the pages fast in a book, they could let me know.
I'm not sure what you mean. They let you know it's going too fast? Is
Yeah,
what you mean?
that it's going too fast.
Yeah. You can always hear each other. You won't necessarily see each
Oh,
other.
see each other, right.
So what else? What else? Yeah. What else did you learn? What happened?
It is really hard to edit a document on a phone. I should have known that because I'm not great at thumb typing, but wow, it's really, really difficult. So you have to allow for much more time, you know.
Yeah. So
I
Chris,
learned that I'm
go
going to
ahead.
stick with the method of sharing my screen with the group, having them write the 5 conversation questions in their notebook, and then going into the breakout group. It's just far simpler because that enables them to look at each other when they have a conversation, which is important with my group.
I actually last spring managed towards the end of the semester to get most of the students to be able to share a Google document and edit it. I found that the first time I did it, somebody accidentally erased everything. So it takes a couple of tries, but and then I found, it was doing the We Speak New York materials, using We Speak New York materials and, write about a picture. I found that setting up the Google Doc with a table and having them click on each cell in the table kind of kept it from getting really chaotic. It just kept it more orderly. But this was level 1, and I thought this is going to be a disaster. But it just takes a couple of tries to get it.
But that means you're talking about if you're using Google Classroom as a device, correct?
No, I was not using Google Classroom at that point. That was like another hurdle that I needed to learn. This was just in Zoom sharing a Google Doc so that everyone, it could be a group editing exercise, or, you know, group writing exercise.
So they're all
So
able
the hard
to
thing
edit
was,
at the same time? They're all able to write in the document together at the same time?
theoretically, not all the students mastered that skill. It often ended up being like the most, you know, higher level students were able to do that. So you get like the same, you know, 5 people editing, but you know, it's tricky also toggling back and forth. I didn't realize you could just press the, you know, the start button and, you know, you get back into your phone. So that's good to know. But yeah, ESL students, you know, it's just everything is much slower, but they do surprise you in what they can master.
Are there any other lessons that you learned here that you want to remember, that you share with other teachers?
What works, I have found what works well in Zoom is they fairly quickly learn how to be able to use the annotation tool. And it is, you know, so I've done listen and circle exercises, you know, and that's how, you know, people with cell phones can participate, you know, and I'm very frank with them. I said, you know, it's more difficult on a cell phone, but everything we can do on any device.
Mm.
So circling things is certainly, it's easier to do that, I think, than doing it with a computer mouse.
What's a listen and circle exercise?
For example, if I have 3 pictures, like say a lemon, an apple, and an orange, and I say, okay, how much is the orange? Or how much are the oranges, for example? I say a question or a sentence, and they, you know, circle the picture. It could be a picture, a word. So circling, underlining, that's doable with the annotation tool on a phone.
Well, right before we go, are there other things that you still want to figure out in terms of what's possible with a phone? Things that you want to try, things you want students to try in your class?
Can we try to use the Zoom annotation tool that Christina just described? Can you give us something to just circle anything randomly? I've never used it as a phone participant in a class.
So could Christina share, or would it have to be me?
I'm looking for something, see if I have anything on my phone. Otherwise, I could just pull up a picture, I guess. I actually did download the Google Docs app, but I'm still learning how to navigate it.
I mean, Eric, you can even put up one of your slides and tell us to circle the letter A, just to
That might
practice
speed things
what
up.
that looks like. Yeah.
So one thing I noticed, I'm just curious here. This is my iPhone. I don't know can you circle one of the temperatures?
Oh.
You have to allow us to
Let's see.
annotate. I don't have any annotation function here. Or maybe it's up here. No.
You have to tap on your screen and you get a little pencil icon and a circle.
Yes.
Then
Got
it
it.
allows you to annotate.
Thank you. Okay.
The interesting thing is this is from an iPhone, and you can't share. I mean, from my phone, you can't share a whiteboard. But if I share a photograph from my phone, it will let you annotate the photograph. These are the New York City rules for heating.
Oh yeah, I
These
know
are
those
wondering.
well. Fought with my landlord for years over these things.
It's too hot or too cold?
Yeah. Mostly just cold. So
Oh, and there's
can
an
move out of that
arrow.
place.
There's an arrow and a highlighter.
And the nice thing is it's in Zoom, the host can see who is doing this. So if somebody's starting to, just be really, sometimes you get kids, scribbling all over it. You get the students' children
Like I
starts
just did.
scribbled. And then you can control this. You can erase it.
Yes, I see that I'm
in
erasing it
Zoom,
now.
and the host can erase it too, and you can see who's scribbling and just say, okay, please stop that. And you can erase what I'm going to erase what I just circled. Those are my blue circles.
It's interesting because my picture got pinched out and I can't pinch it in, so I can only see a little teeny bit of the picture. It seems to be frozen. Ah, there we go. You have to close that thing. I understand now. This is helpful. Okay. So you can put an arrow. There's the yellow circle. Okay, and there's the thermometer. And there's. Mhm. Okay. Christina, would you have 18 students circle something at the same time, or would you call on one person to circle?
I have not called on anyone to circle. Yet. I have just said, somebody circle that, and I can see in Zoom, if I set it up in settings, I can see who is circling. So then I can say, oh, good, Marco, you circled
I
the
see.
moon.
So
Yeah.
you'll just say circle the moon, and then you'll see that Marco did it, and you'll say,
Right.
great job, Marco. Got it.
Right.
Okay.
But you also, when you're in Zoom, I can tell who is on a phone because the screen is narrower. I can actually ask them, in the first class, they practiced doing a Google form. And I asked them what device, and I had check off all that apply, because it helps me to know, maybe I'll get lucky and everyone will have a laptop. That would just make my life so much easier. But no, of course, 5 people have cell phones only. So, but you can tell when somebody is logged on with a phone because the screen is there, and it just looks different than laptop or desktop.
It's funny. I have not noticed how it looks different, but I'm about half phones, half not. I'll have to pay more attention. I haven't noticed any difference. So I will look to that.
I think I can
Yeah,
see
it's
right now even. See if I can show you what it looks like. I'll share my screen. I just took a little screenshot here. Do you see Pam and I are both on computers, and then everyone else is on a phone?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that I think the
Yes, you have
frame is a little
a,
narrower on a phone.
yeah. I see. I'm sure I've seen that, but I just never really took notice of it. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I also this past week shared I have my phone now on a tripod, but I don't expect anyone else to have that in my classroom. So I actually showed them how they can lean it against a coffee mug or, prop it up, because I was getting a lot of ceilings.
Yeah, ceiling
like
fans.
ceiling lights.
Yeah.
And where are you? But they have to be hands-free, because I have them writing things in their notebook. Listen and write, something, dictation exercises.
So, well, thank you all for being here. I put some links in the chat, but I'll some of which you've seen before, is my guess. Some maybe you haven't. We've been making some videos and then collecting videos for students and for teachers. Also recording these meetings and putting them on a playlist. And we also just started making some short documents that are how-tos. So there's just 3 so far, or maybe 2 or 3. Let me see here. Like how to check attendance for a Zoom meeting, how to share a Google Docs that students can edit, how to submit a PDF assignment in Google Classroom. So if there's things that you think would be useful, either as a video or as a written description, like this is how to check attendance, let me know and I can work on that. If you think that, you know, there's something that keeps coming up for you, it'd be helpful for other teachers. But that's what these links are in here. I'll send them around with the notes afterwards as well.